My opinion, the whole yellow thing. First of all, the confusion with the Teamsters. You know, yeah, I mean, it was a little bit cold with the tombstone thing they did the month before, and Sean O'Brien took a pretty strong stance. But you know, they're fed up. I mean, the members were fed up. The union was fed up. I mean, give backs for the last 15 years, concessions. They gave back their pension, getting a quarter pay. I work for ABF, and here we are getting 100% paid in our pension. In the last 15 years, these guys have been getting fucked. You know, in every contract, it's the same thing. They cry poor. They get $700 million from the government, 600 some $1 million loan from Apollo. I mean, they fucking mismanage money like nobody's business, you know. And then they turn around and they didn't get their way with, you know, the work rule change, and they wanted to make it one yellow. And I get it. They needed to consolidate. Why they do it when they're, you know, when their cash levels were so low, and they decide, you know, a year before the contract's up to push this, and what the fuck they were doing all those other years, you know, and all these acquisitions, they took on all this debt. Just poor business decisions, really. You know, if anybody's going to blame the union, I mean, fuck, these guys were making 26 something, you know, underpaid, you know, a lot less than the non-union carriers, and they were only getting a quarter of their pension paid in. So they weren't, you know, mismanagement is what killed yellow, not the Teamsters. And my heart goes out to the 30,000 people that lost their jobs. It's a fucking shame. A lot of good companies. I worked for Roadway. It was actually my favorite place to work. I do enjoy ABF, but Roadway was my favorite. You know, excellent company, the best company, I think, of all time. And they were the big one, you know, they at one time even bigger than Consolidated Freight. Shame, you know. And USF Holland, great company. New Penn, USF Redaway, they fucking killed Preston. I mean, there's a list of companies that they just crushed. And it's sad. I mean, they've taken the whole union down, essentially. I mean, that's all that's left is us. ABF and T-Force, which really, T-Force was overnight. So when you look back to deregulation in the early years of trucking, we are the only ones that were left from the National Master Freight contract. UPS was in their own contract, and the only reason overnight ended up unions because UPS bought them, and they pretty much gave them to the Teamsters, you know. But yeah, I mean, there ain't a fucking thing left of it, really. But that's my opinion, the whole thing with yellow. The Teamsters aren't to blame for that. The drivers aren't to blame, you know. It's a shame. It's just an unfortunate situation, and now Estes has supposedly put a bid in, and they're going to go after their properties and whatnot. So whatever hopes there were of that ever resurfacing, a lot of rumors were they went bankrupt and filed Chapter 11, went into that lockout to try to come back, you know, forcing them to sell off assets and what have you, and break down the company and then make a deal with the union and play hardball. No, they're liquidating the company, and, you know, it's unfortunate. That's all she wrote. Just a lot of good people out of work. But that's my opinion. And, you know, like I said, ABF Freight's a great company. I've been there 17 years. I'd strongly recommend them. But that's my little take on the whole yellow deal. And my heart goes out to all those people that lost their jobs. And I hope you land on your feet.